I always feel content when I have group, and I love that I have an outlet. I have somewhere I can be like, this is how I'm feeling, and then someone's like, oh, me too, and it's just so, it just makes you feel good, and like you're not alone.
I felt empowered. I felt at home. I felt that this was a group of women that were going to understand me and that they weren't going to judge me.
Almost whole, because everyone else has gone through the same thing you have, and you know that you're not alone.
The different stages of my depression where I felt like I felt so much shame for asking for help. Like I had just carried this like inner guilt and shame around having support, and that somehow support meant failure. Support meant I didn't have it together. Support meant I wasn't a good enough mom, and it would take so many. Well, it took forever, but it took 3 kids and a very powerful moment in front of a window where I really had debated on taking my life, of whether or not I was going to actually be real and honest with the people that I knew loved me, on whether or not I was okay.
It's like, as a mom, yes, we choose to be mothers and raise these children, but then somehow we're supposed to do it all. But where am I supposed to get my soul fed?
There's like an internal mental battle that we go through, and it's easy to hide it, you know, out in public or when you're with friends, and it's so deep that it can be hard to just talk about.
Especially in a society where you are made to feel like you have to be perfect.
Sometimes we get this idea in our head of who we're going to be as a mother, and when we fall short of that, we start judging ourselves and we start hiding. Instead of coming out and being honest, we put up this front of like, oh, you know, everything's fine, because we're scared of judgment, and we're scared that people are going to just judge us, you know, and that doesn't happen here. It's affected relationships. Like, I wouldn't go places. I would cancel plans. I would avoid people because I didn't want them to see that, like, how I was suffering, because if you were around me long enough, you would see it, and you would know. So I've been it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Hearing that everyone felt alone in some moments where they felt they were in their like most painful moment and they didn't want to reach out. I was just there a week ago, you know.
And that's when I was like, okay, I got issues. Like, I working out and eating right is like how I coped for my whole life, and that wasn't working anymore.
But I don't think I ever really had like postpartum depression after my children were born. I definitely did have some major stuff going on after I had a miscarriage, though. I felt super alone, didn't really know who to talk to about it.
And Jess even asked me, she was like, do you think you're experiencing some postpartum? And I was like, no, like I didn't feel like I could say that, or I couldn't admit it out loud, even though inside I was screaming, yes, yes.
I just want to run away. I want to pack up my family and I just want to leave. And I wish I was numb. I really do. I just wish I didn't feel all the things that I feel.
So you're not alone. You're not alone. Even people who hold it together, okay, they have pain. They have pain because we're human, and it's okay to have pain. That's what makes us real.
A lot of the times, moms don't know that they need help, and they think this is just normal and that it's just a season of life.
I feel like a lot of the time us women are told, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And this group gives you a place to be like, you know what, I'm not fine. Like, how do I make the people around me understand I'm not fine?
No one knows how hard it is until they really experience it.
You know, when you share the burden, that's what motherhood is about. You're not supposed to do it alone.
And it finally lifted for me, and I believe it's this group that's helped me, and just being able to be with everybody that's been through the exact same thing and they've had that same fog. It's been really, really helpful.
Afterwards, you just kind of feel like there's a weight lifted off your shoulders.
I'm now to the point where I share my story without shame. You shouldn't. As long as you're, I don't know, as long as you're doing your best, you shouldn't apologize for anything.
Once you get there, it just feels so good, because when you leave, you feel really refreshed and like you filled up your cup, because most of the time we're filling up our kids' cups, and figuratively and literally. So
I just love being there.